Knives Out came out in 2019. It's directed by Rian Johnson, and you can watch it right now on Amazon Prime. It's a 2-hour and 10-minute live-action game of Clue, featuring Christopher Plummer, James Bond talking like he's got a mouthful of molasses, Captain America, and Ben Affleck's super hot girlfriend. The Thornberrys are a posh, quirky, Wes Anderson-style family, living seemingly off the fruits of their family's patriarch's literary empire, Christopher Plummer, who is quite fittingly also a murder mystery novelist. But when the audience is presented with Plummer's death in the first few scenes of the film, we spend the rest of the movie trying to piece together the clues to find out who done it. With the very large estate and inheritance at stake, there's a lot up for grabs. So his passing inevitably invites suspicion, theories, and accusations. Who's the killer? Will Blanc solve the case? Will we even care? This is the spoiler full edition, so there are spoilers in this review. We tell you who done it, so if you don't know, you're gonna know after you watch, unless you don't. Al, I want to hear what you think about this, but before I have some thoughts, I want to give you my review.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you some breaking news from AMC. Over the last week, they have decided that we are trending in the right direction towards getting back to normal.
That's right. For theaters set to open for the first time this month, AMC has come out to let their moviegoers know that they're going to be able to enjoy the movies that they're used to in peace. That's right. We're not going to have to breathe through their dumb mask for 2+ hours.
Oh, thank God, Peach. I don't want to get too political here, but clearly there is no need to wear a mask inside of a crowded movie theater. I mean, this whole corona thing has been overblown since the start. It's no bigger than the common flu, they say. There's no fucking way you're going to get me to wear a mask for 2.5 hours inside of a movie theater.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
And that's all really I have to say about it.
Wow. That's pretty crazy. I mean, here's what I think about Knives Out. Guys, when we watch movies, we need to focus on the story, the emotions, the messages, and the questions the movie poses. Rian Johnson is obviously a great visual director. He knows how to frame a shot. He knows how to design a set. His movies are all really well edited. Mm-hmm. That said, if we only ever paid to go see movies based on their visual style, all we'd get is a bunch of Michael Bays running around blowing shit up. When it comes to the story, the heart, this movie was pretty lame. So it starts off by telling us that Ana de Armas is this lower-class immigrant with the inability to lie. Gee, sure would be convenient if she knew all the answers and was only ever trying to help and never did anything wrong. Also, we're told the whole family hates the dad, but one family member in particular is absent from the room at the beginning of the movie, and all the other family members hate him and think he was the killer. Not only that, but several people, including us the viewers, saw him storm out the night of the murder, yelling about just losing his inheritance. Sounds too fishy to be true, and we also can't really trust these people anyway, so now we're locked in for a wild ride of mystery, deceit, and plot turns, right? Nope. Chris Evans was the murderer, Ana de Armas just an innocent person, and all the rich people are just one-dimensional assholes who get what's coming to them. This movie was like baby's first mystery, dude. Like, the worst part is, we don't even get a chance to ponder the characters' intentions on our own and try to figure something out. Daniel Craig just comes in and connects all the dots whenever he feels like it in these big expositions without even sufficient evidence. He just all of a sudden has a Jimmy Neutron brain blast and tells us every detail of what happened that night, even things that we never learned about yet in the film. Like, and don't even get me started on that Savannah accent he stole from Andy Bernard. I was so sick of the second half of this movie, just taking all these awesome setups that got me so excited in the first half and just poo-pooing all over them by telling us the answers. Chris Evans tells us all his answers. Ana de Armas just tells us all her answers. Like, Daniel Craig just basically told you all the answers to the mystery before you could ever even try to solve it. Just like Bad Education, I liked the first half, hated the second half. I'm going to give it a 7.4.
Wow. Okay. Listen, I think everything you said is pretty fair. but I'm coming out of this with a different outlook. I thought this was fun, okay? It's different. How many murder mystery movies have you seen in the last year? Probably none. I can think of one, and it was that silly Adam Sandler Netflix movie. So I like it, and I'm going to give him some credit for doing something different. This is a puzzle movie, and it's awesome because it allows audience participation. You know, you can think along and try to discover who's the murderer for yourself. And yeah, Chris Evans, you think he is right from the start, and it turns out he is. Well, how many fucking movies do that? How many movies show you the guy that you think is the bad guy, and it's not? Or it is. Or it's not. I don't know. I'm forgetting. I mixed up. But whatever. My point is, you thought he was the bad guy, so in your mind you're thinking, well, it's obviously not Chris Evans because it's obviously Chris Evans. I like that, you know, just even though there's no gotcha at the end, it's kind of a gotcha because you got yourself, because you psyched yourself up thinking, okay, it's not him because I think it's him.
It's never the person you most suspect. It's also never the person you least suspect, since anyone with half a brain would suspect them the most. Therefore, I know the killer to be Phyllis, a.k.a. Beatrix Bourbon, the person I most medium suspect.
In my synopsis, I mentioned Wes Anderson because this film, I kept thinking of Wes Anderson in this movie because the family was plucked right out of a Wes Anderson film. And I loved it. I loved all the characters. I loved Jamie Lee Curtis. I thought she was amazing. I loved her husband. I thought he was a fucking asshole, which is perfect. Michael Shannon.
Yeah.
Awesome choice. Oh, yeah. On one of the previous reviews, you had a problem with the plot being informed by dumb decisions.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a problem with things like that, this is not your movie because there's so many things that you're like, oh, it's a plot hole. Like, this movie doesn't take itself so seriously, so you shouldn't either. You know, why is Daniel Craig gallivanting around with his number one suspect and giving her the opportunity to tamper with evidence? Like, yeah, that would never happen. So if you can't get past that, you're not going to like the movie. But if you can just lighten up a little, Al, have some fun,
you want to get into
and
this?
enjoy it.
What's your
I liked
score?
it.
Then we can talk.
8.6.
8.6.
Solid.
So you say it's a good movie. I say it's only really good if you want to watch it, but if you're not seeking it, I don't think you'll like it.
Yeah.
I just thought that the biggest crime for me wasn't plot holes. I think plot holes a little bit overblown in movies. Like, who cares if they change the rules? It's a movie. It's a fantasy. They have a different world, different rules they run by. But my issues, the biggest issues, were how we didn't really explore deeply any of these characters and all their setups. I just felt like there was so much potential. The whole idea that Ana de Armas couldn't lie or else she would throw up, I'm like, oh, that's going to be a crazy part for the plot. Like, they can always test her, but it's going to, obviously, because it's a murder mystery, they're not going to give things away. But she kind of, like, just did give things away, I felt. And on top of that, I didn't like how they kept shoehorning in the moral dilemmas of the movie. Like, obviously, the ethical dilemma was the rich family's rich. They think it's fair that they keep the money, but honestly, like, it's not really that fair that all these assholes keep the money. It's obviously a better thing for the world if we just split the money up to this less privileged person. But we don't need, like, Daniel Craig's character to look in the camera and be like, she was the right thing to do because she was a good nurse.
I agree.
And that's why she's the right person. And then, like, the rich people would just,
I agree with that,
Michael Shannon just grabs her and goes, like, you better give us that money because we're rich and you're poor and that's fair. It's like, dude, can you, Ryan Johnson, give me a little more to think about? I'm not 5 years old. I'm an adult. If you want to give me political themes, make them complex. Make me question my judgment. This movie changed my mind about 0 things ever.
It wasn't trying to. Whatever. Anyway, Al, I'm sorry that you didn't like it because I think you're going to have to deal with it for a little longer. And I'll tell you why. This movie was super successful. Both critically and at the box office. So on Rotten Tomatoes, got a 97 from critics.
Dude, a 97 is fucking Shawshank Redemption level. Are you kidding me? A 97? I knew it would have too high of a score.
I was surprised too, but way too high.
I would be fine with an
8.6.
I'm cool with that.
Well, thanks. Even the audience is high. It's a 92.
This is a movie where I expected audiences to be high, though. It has a happy ending.
Agreed.
It has like I said, a straightforward moral dilemma. Is not going to teach you much, but it's going to please the audience. It's an easy movie to watch.
I agree. And at the box office, it did extremely well. This movie had a budget of $40 million, so nothing to stark at. Rian Johnson, coming off Star Wars, obviously he's used to a big budget. This wasn't humongous, but it's pretty big, $40 million, especially for this type of movie. Spent wisely. Right? I thought the set was amazing. The color, absolutely.
Yeah,
that was
circle.
Very cool. But yeah, get used to it, because although the budget was $40 million, it grossed $309 million. That's a higher percentage than the Bond film. So get used to it. Rian Johnson has said he wants to make more of these. He wants Daniel Craig to be a fixture, kind of like a Sherlock Holmes. He wants to throw out the Thornberrys. That story is over. But he's going to keep Daniel Craig and work on another mystery, maybe 2022.
Okay. Can I tell you this? On your 3 questions, did I like this movie? I don't know, kind of. I mean, I did enjoy the first half, didn't like the ending. Would I watch it again? No. Would I recommend it to a friend? I don't know. But would I watch a sequel? Yeah, I think I'll give a sequel a chance, dude. Because if he does better in the sequel, then that's pure positivity.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because I actually wanted to mention that one of my big cons with this movie is once you know the reveal, I wanted to watch it again. But I didn't think it was good enough for me to watch it again. Thought it was maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes too long. And this is the type of movie that you're going to want to see again, because you want to pick up on the details. And you want to see the foreshadowing,
Right.
A movie like The Prestige comes to mind that, you want to see it again and again. But this movie, I don't think so. It won't keep me a second time, I don't think.
The breadcrumbs weren't scattered and then suddenly you realize that they're aligned. The breadcrumbs were more like you were given 5 of them, and then at the end you're told that there are 20 others that all make sense. So I don't feel like it's going to be thrilling to go back and try to look for clues.
20 breadcrumbs that are just completely irrelevant because what you thought happened actually did happen.
Right, exactly. Yeah, almost like they spent so much time setting up red herrings that they forgot to put in legitimate clues.
That's a good point, yeah. We've got a development from one of our early stories in the day. AMC saying it will now require patrons to wear a mask or face covering when visiting the theater.
Wow, Peach, this is clearly the right move. The only responsible thing to do in this current climate is to protect the public safety at all costs. A movie theater is no place to be going without a mask. I mean, I'm surprised that these things were announced to be optional to begin with.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more. Props to AMC for really being a forward thinker in the space, and I'm 100% behind this from the start. Public safety first. We need to protect America and be an example for the world, unlike what's going on now.
There's a lot of companies making stupid decisions out there, and AMC thought the right way first.
Good job, AMC.
People, we might all be dead by 2021.
But before I die, I want to watch some hot new movies.
As we know, this whole pandemic thing has caused quite a stir in some of America's most essential industries.
Yeah, like movies.
Here's a short list of movies that I really wanted to see. 007, Godzilla vs. King Kong, The Batman, what's going on?
Listen, I like streaming as much as the next guy, but if I don't get a hot summer blockbuster, I'm going to start rioting in the streets.
Don't worry about that, Peach. I haven't been outside in 4 months, but I think the people of America are too busy quarantining to start a riot. People. We're strong. We've been through this type of stuff before.
Yeah, we are strong and patient. Yeah, I'm patient. I know I've gone at least a week without ordering a pizza.
In honor of the recent delays, Peach and I have decided to remind you all of our top 5 movies that went through something we movie buffs like to call development
hell. Number 5 is Space Jam, coming out in 1996, prime years for a young Peach. It was a hit, great movie, nostalgia city. And like everything great from my childhood, these assholes want to remake it and make a bunch of money. And the Space Jam 2 sequel has been in the works literally since a year after it came out in 1997. They wanted Michael Jordan to do another one, but he said, listen, I just won the championship. I'm about to win another championship. And then after that, I'm going to win another championship. And he did. Spoiler alert.
And that's when it became personal for him.
That's when it became personal for him. After that, they weren't done. They said, hey, what's Jeff Gordon up to? What's Tiger Woods up to? Fuck it. Let's get Tony Hawk. But they couldn't get it done. All those people, all those ideas didn't happen. Up until last summer when they got LeBron James, the next chosen one. And even though he's not as good as Michael Jordan, everybody knows that. He's got, 3 rings? Michael Jordan's got 6. LeBron's a little baby, whatever. Even though LeBron kind of sucks, I'm slightly looking forward to the Space Jam 2 coming probably next summer.
Number 4 is going to be Bill and Ted 3. I've never seen Bill and Ted 1. I didn't even know there was such a thing as Bill and Ted 2. But you want to talk about hell? My newsfeed has been filled with nothing but Bill and Ted fans losing their fucking minds about Bill and Ted 3. I will tell you one thing. I'm a huge Keanu Reeves fan. This guy's just the man. So if I'm going to get a movie about Keanu Reeves just being some pothead musician spreading love to the world, I'm down for it. Get me out of this Twitter newsfeed hell and release this damn movie already.
Wow, you think Keanu Reeves is a good guy. Hot take. Number 3 on our list is Apocalypse Now. Proposed in 1969 with a $2 million budget, Francis Ford Coppola eventually premiered the film in 1979 after over $31 million were spent. The starting role was offered to Steve McQueen. Then it was given to Harvey Keitel. He dropped out. Martin Sheen eventually starred, but he got a heart attack. They filmed in the Philippines and Vietnam. They had production problems, typhoons, stress, alcoholism. You got to deal with Marlon Brando. That movie was hell to film. But it worked out. They got a standing ovation at Cannes. The movie went on to more than double its budget. But I feel like the movie's still in development hell because every 5 years I hear that they're re-releasing some new edit, some director's cut. There's like 50 cuts of that movie. And hey, guess what? Hot take? It's actually not that good of a movie. Overrated.
You know, Peach, a budget of $39 million in the 70s is like a budget of $850 trillion in 2020.
That's true. That movie could have made 8 Avatar films.
Speaking of which, number 2 is going to be Avatar 2,
Whoa!
aka Avatar 2 long waiting around for this fucking movie to come out. So James Cameron decides to stick a bunch of balls on people in suits and change the world of visual effects forever back in, 2010 or 11? And then he goes,
2004.
Don't worry, we're going to make 7 of them. We're going to make a whole park at Disney next year. Wrong-o, James Cameron, who is still working on Avatar 2.
Soon, though.
Don't worry, when he finally does it, he will have raised the bar once again and probably changed visual effects forever. And then he'll lie through his teeth and tell us that another Avatar is coming out 2 years afterwards.
What happens if Avatar 2 comes out and it's just like, okay?
That's what I'm wondering.
Like,
I mean,
has anyone thought about that possibility?
did James Cameron not expect, movies like The Avengers and Planet of the Apes to come out after his movie? He's got
Planet
way
of the
more
Apes.
competition now.
Yeah, with Planet of the Apes, get the fuck out of here. Anyways,
Hey,
number
did you see Dawn
5.
of the
How many chances do you need in show business before you just pack up your bags and go home? Goodfellas, Departed. Get this guy out of here.
Oh my god.
Scorsese decided for this one, he's gonna step out of his comfort zone and do something of a gangster film starring Robert De Niro. Of course, funding for the project was hard to come by. It was marred by difficulty, largely due to virtually unknowns like Al Pacino and Joe Pesci. It took Scorsese almost an entire decade to get funding, and an emerging studio to do it, Netflix. Needless to say, the movie bombed. It only got less than $10 million at the box office. Can you believe it?
What an idiot. This guy,
What an idiot.
This guy, Marty, makes 5 or 6 of the best films ever made. And then all of a sudden they want to give the guy hundreds of millions of bucks.
Yeah, on a serious note, I cannot believe like how hard it was for him to get The Irishman made with Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro, and Al Pacino.
Yeah, how could you not understand why that would cost $300 million?
Am I taking crazy pills? It didn't cost $300 million. It cost like $150 million, and no studio would give it to him.
$150 million in 1970s would be like $12.
What? All right, before we get the fuck out of here and jump in the pool, I'm going to leave you guys with some stuff to watch over the weekend so you don't murder yourselves. For me, a good recommendation is going to be Silver Linings Playbook. It's streaming right now on Netflix. It stars Robert De Niro, who we just mentioned, and Bradley Cooper. Really good film. High 8s or low 9s for me. Haven't seen it in a little bit, but definitely recommend it. In my queue is going to be The Floor is Lava on Netflix. Oh. Because fuck it, why not? I actually watched a couple episodes, and I'm not going to say it's good, but
it's fun.
It's fun, You can't always watch,
I'd pay a good deal of money for me to go play that game. That thing looks so fun.
It did. Yeah, it does look fun. Have you seen it? Or just
no, I haven't seen it. I've only seen the trailer.
Yeah. Well, watch it. I mean, it's not bad.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of like Wipeout and stuff. What is that? What is that show?
Most Extreme Elimination Challenge. MXC.
Yeah, dude. I love those type of shows. I bet I'd enjoy this. My recommendation for the week is going to be comedian James Acaster's Repertoire. It's a series of 4 comedy specials from this like mostly unknown British guy, but he's one of the funniest comedians I've seen on Netflix. Netflix
Does he have an accent like Daniel Craig?
No, not like a foghorn, leghorn, boomhauer-ass stupid
Kentucky
fucking southern accent.
Fried chicken.
No, this guy lives his British life. The humor's British. He looks British. It's a very funny stand-up special catalog, and I think that he just got lost in the mix of bullshit stand-ups that Netflix keeps putting out.
Okay, I'll look for that.
In my queue this week is going to be our next movie that we're going to be reviewing and talking about next week.
What is it, Al? Al, what is it? Al, tell me. Wait. Tell me before you tell them. Just hold on.
It's going to be Jojo Rabbit on HBO.
Oh, I love that movie. Well, actually, I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard good things.
Should I tell them?
Yeah. Let them know.
It's going to be Jojo Rabbit. It's coming to HBO. I've been looking forward to this one, guys. I'm very excited to watch Jojo Rabbit and talk about it.
I think you have something you want to tell me.